My name is Marco Signorelli. Currently, I work as a technical market manager at ShapeBlue. Previously, I was a consultant manager in ShapeBlue Brazil. So I am working with open source technology from '96 and continue working with virtualization from 2004. With CloudStack from the beginning into 2013, and elected as Apache CloudStack committee into 2015. So the agenda today is explain a little bit the VMware history, the success history the VMware had from the project they started as a company. The changes, there's a little bit, the changes happened when Broadcom acquired the VMware. They changed the VCSP program, the end of availability of perpetual license, the product portfolio changes, some challenges in concern from the specialized medias, and present CloudStack as a VMware alternative. So, and putting both side by side to compare the features both have. And after I will show some tools in CloudStack that can help organizations to migrate from VMware to CloudStack, including JSON tools and VMware to KVM conversion tool. So, and present some migration scenario. So, VMware was launched in 1998, so as a project, a very small project in that time. I remember I used it in 2000. So they launched the first VMware product in 1999, the first hypervisor, the ESX server, 2002. It goes a global company in 2003. In that time, in 2004, the EMC acquires VMware, and after they goes a public company. In 2009, vSphere was launched. 2003, NSX, vSun was launched, and they acquired EMC recently in 2015. And now you have the Broadcom with the history, you know very well, Broadcom in the older acquisition, they acquired VMware. So, what happened after the Broadcom acquisition? The first thing is related to the program, the VCSP program. They completely changed, and they were the Broadcom not invited this cloud service provider to join the Broadcom adventure. It's very close to the Pareto principle, where they apply in that case because 20% of the customer represent 80% of revenues. So that's it, the Broadcom is applying for in that case. Now to you, for example, for any company, the requirement to participate of the Broadcom Advantage program is at least 3,500 cores. It represents a lot of money in terms for a small service provider. Other problem is they access 56 products in their portfolio in the delete the existing knowledge base as well. So you don't have any reference for all the products in the VMware and the Broadcom side. So other problem is related with the perpetual license model that was replaced with a subscription model. It's very normal in the recent market. So by the way, but they changed it. It also substantially affect directly the price they sell their products to the market. So previously, for example, to purchase any individual product, it was possible. Now you need to buy a bundle of products to have some specific functionality you want in your infrastructure. Some small business, for example, reported, for example, the educational, as VMware removed the discount they applied, for example, for education, for universities and research centers, for example, they reported that the price increases around 1,500–200% when renewed their license. So it's a massive increased prices for them. Other problem that this problem directly affect the innovation in VMware. The mass laid off, for example, is approximately 2,800 employees in the engineering team in that case. And anonymous VMware source, for example, said that Broadcom would likely lay off between 10 and 20,000 employees, just looking to reduce the costs of operations and to reach, for example, $5 billion in operating EBITDA. It's the actual scenario in the VMware side. In terms of product, they reduce it basically for 3 products they have right now. The VMware Cloud Foundation, for example, before it's possible to buy the vSphere to use with NSX or separatedly or use with vSun. Today, for example, to have these features together, you need to acquire a license of a bundle of products. So you have the VMware Cloud Foundation, they have the VMware vSphere Foundation that it's limited to the operation, for example, and you have the standard one, VMware vSphere, and the Essential Plus. And I think everyone here in the last year read many articles in the specialized media related to the challenges and concern with this acquisition. So, as you can see, it was very well addressed by the specialized media you are watching right now, the problem generated by Broadcom with VMware acquisition. What is the challenges and concerns with the VM in that case? First, uncertainty about the price policy. In that time, you don't know exactly what will happen in the last year, for example. It's impossible to know what exactly will happen with the acquisition. Many times, for example, Broadcom go to the media and say, no, it will be different. It will be another way. We will take care with VMware, but not true. They change completely the game. They change the product, the line, and the price they apply to the products they have. For example, they change for per socket license for per core. It affected directly the price related with subscription on the VMware. Compromise innovation. In that case, they are laid off, for example, 2,800 engineers. So we don't have a promise here that they will continue investing in innovation and promoting the product for the future. And for sure, when you decide, for example, to use some proprietary product, you have the risk of the vendor locking and dependency. It happened exactly today, for example. It's many organizations, for example, that they have the business model with VMware is too hard to migrate from VMware to other technologies, for example. And back into what exactly they are doing with the partners they have before, the customer they have before. They are prioritizing the larger customer over the smaller. And so many organizations, small organization, it's in a very hard situation right now with this change. So, looking for the exit ramp, I remember Gartner told that it's important before the acquisition to negotiate a long-term contract before the acquisition is done. But, by the way, today it's not in the agenda. The second one concern is related to find some alternative solution and define migration activity. That's the point we are right now. So, and from Shape Blue experience, looked to the market in the beginning of the year. You did a survey related with the customer you have coming from from a VMware user, for example. 52% of new projects they want to migrate from VMware to Apache CloudStack, and up this comparison with 1 year before is just in 8% to the 52 is a very big difference in that case. And looking at the CloudStack as a VMware alternative, you have many big differences here. The CloudStack naturally is open source, so you don't need to pay for license, anything. In CloudStack acts as abstraction layer of the hypervisor. CloudStack have the ability, for example, to manage VMware, KVM, and Xen hypervisors. It's a mature infrastructure as a service platform, and it could be used by smaller from large organizations. So, as you can see, Giles present today. Many new features coming in Apache CloudStack. It means that you continue innovation in the open source environment. So it's very great for the companies that they want to adopt, for example, Apache CloudStack. And in terms of the acquisition in this risk for the company they have today, for example, CloudStack offers building features designed exactly to help organizations migrate from VMware to CloudStack. So it can reduce or completely or partially the dependency on the VMware. In that case, CloudStack, you can use it. It's open source, you can download it. You don't have, in that case, vendor lock-in. It's very important for the organization today. And as I told you, support a range of hypervisors. So, and comparing side by side with new features coming, etc., for example, just to get a look, much hypervisor support on CloudStack can do that. In that case, VMware support only their products. For example, some feature you have only in the most expensive bundle they have, it's VMware Cloud Foundation for multi-zone management. Other products, products, not cheaper, but let me say that. So CloudStack can manage dozens of data centers are distributed geographically, and you can use it for that. Also, DRS included in CloudStack 4.9 is possible to do in abstracting completely the hypervisor you are using in CloudStack. Also, partially can support a distributed switch as CloudStack can manage, for example, and control the VLANs and VXLANs in the network side. Cross-cluster migration, cross-DC live migration as well, and other features. For example, partially you have a new feature, for example, now to support disaster recovery in different data centers and so. CloudStack recently was integrated with the Tungsten Fabric and NSX. It supports SDN integration. SDS, you have here just here participate with us, Limbit, and Starpool, that is a SDS solution that CloudStack supports in case of VMware. You have it, but just for the vSphere Foundation and VMware Cloud Foundation. And so, for example, some important features like firewall load balancer, you need to buy an add-on to have it in VMware. It means you need to pay more money to the VMware, to the Broadcom to have the features. In CloudStack, it's native and it is open source. Oh, well, in many other features here you have that can, comparing both side by side, CloudStack can cover the workloads that VMware covers easier. And look at the tools that can help organizations to migrate. You have two important features here. One is the VMware ingestion tools. For example, I know there is many applications that depends on VMware to continue running. In that case, you need maybe to maintain some system running on top of VMware hypervisor. In that case, it's important to maintain these characteristics, so you can use the VMware injection tool to have a rich cloud platform orchestrating VMware hypervisors, mixed with KVM, for example. And you can, for example, to inject the existing virtual machines into CloudStack, to CloudStack manage the hypervisor instance on top of VMware. Another, the new one, it's a KVM conversion tool that you can convert completely and reduce the dependency on the VMware side, converting the VMware instance and including disk and all characteristics into VMware, into KVM. It's ideal for removing dependence from completely the dependency on VMware side. So, some scenarios here I want to explore. Let's base it on the minimal requirement Broadcom applied for the new bundle of products. It needs something like 360 cores, 3,500 cores for per the minimal license in that case. And I am considering this scenario for the migration. So the first one, you have many organizations using the VMware vCloud director, have exactly this architecture for in their infrastructure using VMware. So you can just use the Apache CloudStack to continue connecting with the vSphere, as CloudStack can manage it, and you change not too much things related with the VMware architecture. In the value proposition in that case, a potential reduction of 61% in VMware license cost, in reducing that case partially the dependency on VMware side. Continue using the injection feature. You can, for example, turn your vCenter into a rich infrastructure as a service cloud using Apache CloudStack and continue managing your VMware vSphere infrastructure. So you have this design here. And the value proposition in that case is make a traditional virtualization into a rich infrastructure as a service cloud. Another scenario is continue using a part of VMware vSphere technology in the hypervisor layer and mix it with KVM. So in that case, the value proposition is reduce over 81%, depending on the need you have on the VMware side. So this scenario, for example, is remove completely the dependence related with VMware, converting completely your infrastructure on top of VMware to the KVM. In that case, you remove completely the dependency on VMware. So, because CloudStack is open source, you don't need to pay anything to use it. That's the point. In terms of conclusion, for example, if you compare VMware Cloud Foundation transition only, continue using the vSphere hypervisor, for example, the major result in terms of license costs related with VMware license costs in that case is about 6 to 1% with the actual price they have for the vCloud product. So, if you consider, for example, transition VMware Cloud Foundation and partially vSphere dependency using mixed hypervisor environment, the potential reduction in terms of license cost with VMware is 81%. And if you decided to remove completely the VMware dependence, moving completely the workload from VMware hypervisor to use CloudStack managing KVM instance, for example. So as it is open source, is 100% of reducing in terms of license cost with VMware. So it's how I want to present. Let me go to the questions.
Yeah, for comment to use say the license cost goes
Let me go down.
in my opinion, it's not true because we are still the and from the new licensing parts, you are only allowed to use VMware as a service provider. Means you have to pay the higher price. If you're an enterprise company, that's fine. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But for service providers,
In some use cases, I think it could be different, I think, right? In some use cases, it could be different, depending on the policy you have.
Service providers, no, you have
to pay more for.
Even if you don't use, you have to pay a VCF license always. You can't use the essentials version or whatever.
So maybe it could be more than that, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a price overhead, but maybe scenario still might be.
Then I think in the common scenario it is true. I think not. Maybe you can have specific scenarios that it could be lower. And you told the second one, right?
The first one is nothing. For the first one,
Let me go here.
For the first one, you have to still completely license VMware with VCF. So
In that case here.
Yeah, and for the second case, it's true, but only if you switch to the scenario 2, yeah, or was it scenario 3?
3. This one here.
This is, I think, for as a service provider, that's the first version where you can save money from VMware license costs because you don't have to license all customers.
I think this is approximately number because, for example, if you need, for example, only 3,500 cores, the minimum one. So, by the way, but you have 4 times more than that.
Yeah, then you think
the reducing is much more aggressive in that case. Yeah.
Because you have to pay
more for to have. My number is under of the real case word, right? Okay.
Installation is simple. Everyone has to just use all features technical. Even if you do not want that. Yeah, they changed a couple of or longer years ago. Initially, it was possible to use, let's say, buy hardware from Lenovo or whatever, and you can buy the licensing from them if you were allowed to hosting or cloud services and so on. But I think it was version 5.1 where they removed that ability. Only the now VCSP program were allowed to do for hosting, and now the current VCSP program is that you totally are allowed to license VCF, and you have to agree that you, let's say, change your platform in the next few months to VCF. So in, let's say, a year or so in the future, you're not allowed to use a non-VCF platform for VMware hosting.
But the cloud, the VMware cloud bundle is not contemplating the VCF, right? You need to additional licenses like an add-on to you need to buy to have the VCF functionality, the portal, multi-tenant portal, this stuff, right?
No, as a VCSP, you are only able to license.
To buy. No one can.
VCF.
Well, by the way, you have no alternative. If you don't have, you're not invited, you need to remove completely the dependence.
Yeah, but there's so for example, you're offering white label licensing to form
with a third-party partner, right? With other partners. You can't buy directly from VMware. That's the change. You need to search some partner.
Previously in VCSP, there were about 800 VCS partners worldwide. Now there are only around 400. In Germany, it's just 20 or 30, which were left from previously 400. And all the other, let's say, 370, which want to continue, VMware have to go to one of the 31 and get their license from them.
And you have overhead in terms of price as well related with this, right?
Yeah, but the prices are, that's the most part, they are the same for no matter whether you're a premium partner or a clinical partner, it's all the same rebate level that no changes.
Yeah. Okay, anything else? Someone? No? Well, let me just say that, just to reinforce here, this year, November, in Madrid, the CloudStack Collaboration Conference, you are all invited to join with us there and get in touch. So, thank you so much.